Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lanice. If you are new here, hello, welcome to my channel. If you are not new here, hello, welcome back. You already know what I'm gonna say. Thank you for tuning in to another one of my videos because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, okay? So as you can see, the setup is a little different than the last few videos, but I will get into why that is in this actual video. Of course, I always like to address the elephant in the room, which is going to be my broken nail whenever I have one, but hopefully sis can get these fixed this week, but that's not why we're here. So if you saw the title of this video is going to be about situationships. Oh, good old situationships. If you notice, I might not be in my usual upbeat spirit. Don't get me wrong, I am still happy. But this video, it comes, I guess I am delivering this message with a sad heart. So anyways, we'll go ahead and get things started. So the microphone that I had been using for the last few videos, I had actually acquired through my last situationship. I was seeing a guy, he had some incredible podcasting equipment, and I had to give it back because I have to walk away from that situation. I can go into a lot of different story times when it comes to that situation, but it's neither here nor there. I wish him well. I still have nothing but care in my heart for the man. So that is what it is. But I have realized why at the beautiful age, I say beautiful because, women in age, we're not thought to be beautiful together. I guess what I'm trying to say is that women are not, as we age, we are told that we kind of lose our beauty. But I'm trying to see my age as a positive thing. I'm 35. So at the beautiful age of 35, I have really sat down and figured out the importance of having standards. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, why didn't you get that ahead of time? Or, oh my gosh, I feel like I've heard you say that before. But I honestly feel like I keep running into the same situations because I don't know who I am, or I'm not even gonna say I don't know. I didn't know who I was, and because I just didn't know what I wanted at the time. So I continue to see myself get into these situations where they're just not healthy, and they're, I guess, classified as situationships. So we'll go ahead and get into the video. So I have been working with a wonderful content creator by the name of Nikki the Creator. I started following her on YouTube. I subscribed to her channel on YouTube because she's a beautiful Black woman, and I really like the content that she was delivering, and her method of teaching is also, it was good for me. I was able to take in the information and understand her way of teaching. She's a good teacher. So I started watching Nikki the Creator's content. She's basically, I guess, self-improvement, law of attraction, but not woo-woo. She's not woo-woo about it. Like, she's not like witchcraft or anything like that. She's just more so like the world is you reflected on the outside. You know, she just teaches the importance of loving yourself and having standards. So anyways, I have been following her content recently, and I reached out to her on Instagram, and she was nice enough to write me back. And she has really been helping me sit down and piece together why I ended up in this situation and why I continue to attract these situations, which is crazy because I'm also in therapy, and I've been in therapy for a long time. But I've recently started doing EMDR therapy, which is eye movement desensitization. What is it? Let me look it up on the computer. I will put the definition of EMDR somewhere on this page, but EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and is it reprogramming? Come on, it's taking a long time. And reprocessing. So at the beginning of this year, I started EMDR therapy with a therapist, and that has been helping. However, everything is a process. Everything takes time. But since talking to Nikki, she is allowing me to put the things that she's helped me, kind of put the things that I'm learning in therapy, along with like along with contextual stuff. So I guess making me write things down, having a list, things of that nature. So anyways, I will first start with why I have realized that situationships do not work for me. I'm going to give you guys some reasons that I have written down as to why they don't work for me. And then once I tell you guys why they don't work for me, we'll kind of get into what Nikki the Creator helped me do, which was sit down and write down like my bottom lines, my bare minimums, and who I want to be or who I want to show up as whenever I am in a relationship. So that is going to be the topic of today's video. Again, I'm kind of delivering this message with a heavy heart, okay? Anytime you lose somebody, whether they were good or bad, you're going to have to grieve that. And I don't feel like too terrible because I guess I don't feel like I'm really losing anything in this situation. But I still, I just had to let something go. So I guess this is still part of the grieving process. Maybe I'm just at the acceptance part. I don't know. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get straight into why situationships don't work for me. Oh, so sorry. I did not make my point. I'm saying I'm delivering this with a heavy heart. So if I stumble, or if I'm kind of like not as happy, or shoot, if I shed a tear, please excuse that. This is just a very honest and transparent video because that's what I want to deliver to you guys. Okay, so the first reason that I have here is I usually end up losing myself in these situations. I wonder why this person doesn't want more from me, and then I end up trying to change myself for that person. So, for example, the last situationship I was in, the guy would always tell me things like, locks are not feminine. He likes when his woman switches her hair up, things of that nature. And it got to the point to where he would say these things, or he even told me, you look like you shop at the Goodwill. And I understand that he wasn't trying to say that. Well, he says he wasn't trying to say it in a hurtful way, but it's just like, if you think that saying those things are not hurtful to somebody who has locks or who has children, then you just are really out of touch. But when he would say those things, it would make me feel like, dang, like I don't look feminine enough, or, my locks, like maybe I look dirty, or look like I smoke weed, or whatever the case may be. Like he just had me feeling like my locks weren't enough to the point to where I wanted to start wearing wigs. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like how wigs look, and I would eventually one day probably want to try out different hairstyles. But right now, at this point in time in my life where I am, my locks are me, you know what I mean? But I was really, really, really considering cutting them off and starting with sister locks, or cutting them off to grow my hair out to look more feminine, because I wanted to fit his definition of feminine. And I catch myself being like that in situationships all the time, because I am wanting to be what the other person wants their person to be, instead of just being myself. The second reason I have here is because the man always wins in a situationship. I know and this is coming from, if you're like me, if you're the type of woman that when you're in a relationship with a man, whether you are committed or not, you give that man your all. You love hard. It's hard for you to put eggs in different baskets. If you are the type of person that is a serial monogamous like me, that situationship is going to really feel like a relationship for you, because you're giving all of your time, you're giving all of your affection, all of your resources all of your resources as a woman, which is your time and attention, your sex, this dog. If you're giving those things away to a man, and that's all you have to give to a man, and he is not giving you commitment, which is the ultimate thing that a man can give you, is his commitment to you. If you're giving all that you have and he's not giving all that he has, he might be giving you a lot. He may be giving you a lot, but if he is not giving you all that he has, like you're giving all that you have, you're losing. It is not a reciprocal relationship. No matter how many feelings this man has for you, no matter how good it feels, no matter how much you feel like you're getting out of it, you always end up losing in situationships as the woman. And that's really all I can say, because the love is not being reciprocated. let me see. So another thing, reason number 3 why situationships do not work for me is because I end up in my feelings and comparing myself. I already have a bad habit of comparing myself to other people. That is something that I'm working on in therapy. That is something that, I had done for years. So it's just one of those habits that it's just going to take time to break. I'm working on it. I am not oblivious to it, and I'm going to get there to where I don't do it anymore, but I'm working on that. So when I'm in these situationships and I know that this man is not committed to me, and even in this last relationship, you know, when he would say things like he likes his woman to switch her hair up, or he wants a younger woman because she can give him more kids, like I'm comparing myself to the different women that I know he's dealing with. Like, oh, well, you know, she's beautiful. She switches her hair up. She's only 27. I'm 35. She can give him way more kids. Like, I'm comparing myself to these people, and that is not healthy for me. Now, again, everybody might not have these problems or situations. Like, situationships may work for them. I'm telling you the reasons why they do not work for me, and that is one of the reasons, because I end up comparing myself to other people. And when you compare yourself to other people, you are never going to match up. You're never going to feel like you match up. So my 4th reason as to why they do not work for me is because you will never be enough for the person. Okay, so as it has been, my camera overheated. I had to let it cool down. But the 4th, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to have to edit this, because I honestly did not watch the video since it overheated. And I believe I left off at point number 4. You will never be enough for someone who you are not meant to be with. So no matter what you try to do for someone, if it's not meant to be, you will not ever be good enough for them, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you pray, no matter what. If that's not the person that God sees, that God created for you, you will never be enough. And when it comes to situationships, I personally was already feeling down. I was already not feeling like I was enough. So that would cause me to try to prove myself and try to prove that I am enough for these people. So that's reason number 4 for me. Reason number 5 is because people will take advantage. I have dealt with guys who knew I wanted a relationship with them, knew that I was around, hoping things would change, and they would take that relationship and just kind of dangle it in my face like a carrot to a rabbit, like just kind of dangling in my face, like, oh, you know, I would have been with you because of this, but I can't be with you because of that. You know, they would always have a reason, and they would always use the relationship. I remember one time, this one guy I was seeing, he actually used the relationship. He told me one time, I have no clue why. I was probably in my 20s. I was really slow back then. He was like, if you tell me such and such and such, like if you tell me about such and such and such, I will trust you and I will be in a relationship with you. So I spoke up. I told him the truth about something. He was like, yeah. He was like, I just knew that would really get you to tell me the truth, because that's how bad you want to be in a relationship with me. And I'm like, wow, like for someone to use that against you, it's just like crazy. Like looking back, that was really crazy. So people will take advantage of you. And if you're already losing in the situation and then people are taking advantage, it's like you're losing 2 times. You know, you're taking 2 L's. So reason number 6, and I think that this is probably the number 1 reason, actually, and I'm actually going to read you an excerpt from an article about situationships that really, really pointed reason number 6 out to me. And I'm going to read it from this article, because if it was written about, then that means that I'm not the only person that's experiences this. And reason number 6 is because you end up trying to earn that person's love. And I know that I may have said that in different ways with some of the other points, but I wanted to really bring it home with it and give it its own separate point. Okay, so this article is on verywellmind.com, and the title of it is, hold on, I have to scroll back to the top. Situationships and how to cope when commitment is unclear. So I'm not going to read you the whole article, but the part that really stood out to me and honed in on what I said, point number 6 is you end up trying to earn their love. And so it says this part is listed under mental health impact of being in a situationship, and it reads, both parties may not be honest about what they want out of the arrangement. Typically, one person is content with the casual aspect of the relationship while the other is hoping that it might turn into something more. Additionally, because situationships tend to be superficial, the partner wanting more usually does not know the other person well, which causes them to idealize their partner and in turn devalue themselves. People who repeatedly find themselves in these types of relationships tend to struggle with self-worth and usually find themselves being attracted to partners who make them feel they must earn their love. Now, if you were listening from the beginning of this video, you heard me say that I typically have been attracting situationships into my life, that this is probably an ongoing cycle. I have settled for situationships for years now, and I have kind of finally been able to put a list and contextualize a list of reasons why they don't work for me. So now I can read this list whenever I catch myself accepting the bare minimum again. I have a whole list to read to myself as to why this is not going to work for me, because it isn't going anywhere. So now that we have gotten that out the way, why the reasons situationships don't work for me, I will kind of get into what I have done over this weekend to kind of put my mind in the right frame of mind, to help me realize who I am, who I want to be, who I want to show up as in relationships, and what my bare minimums are whenever it comes to whether or not I'm willing to date a guy. Okay, so let me see. Hold on. Let me find it. All right. So for me, the laws of the land, she told me, Nikki the creator, she was like, honey, I want you to sit down. This is your homework. And I'm at the point now where I am willing to do the homework, I'm willing to do the work now. Okay. She said, I need you to write down the laws of your land, because I feel like if you were to put down your laws of the land, you would not be in the situation that you're in. You would not be accepting what you're accepting. So I sat down and wrote down just 5 very simple bare minimum laws of the land for myself. And for myself is this person must be positive, no putting me down, uses tact when saying something that comes off critical. I have dated men who are very critical. They're very critical of how I dress. They're very critical of how I wear my hair. They're critical about the car that I drive. They are critical about the size of my apartment, or what side of town I live on. If you cannot be positive and in times say things that require a bit of criticism, say those things with tact, you are not the man for me, baby. I am a soft, gushy woman on the inside. You are not going to continue to nail me to the cross, okay? I will fucking break, all right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not weak. I'm not saying I don't have a backbone. But what I'm saying is, if you're constantly criticizing me and you're not saying anything positive about me, you're only telling me the negative things about me, you are not for me. Point blank, period. Okay? So number 2 law of the land is I'm 35, baby. I don't care what nobody says about a biological clock. Yes, I do have 1 child, thank God. But I would like more. I would like at least 2 more. And yes, there are plenty of women who are healthy in their late 30s, early 40s, giving birth and having healthy pregnancies. Thank God. I love to hear that. But being realistic, statistics show that older women have a higher risk of birth defects. They have a higher risk of high-risk pregnancies. You're automatically, once I think you're 35 and you're pregnant, you're automatically labeled a high-risk pregnancy. I believe it's an age limit where you're automatically labeled as high risk, and I believe it to be 35. So with that being said, if I want more kids, I have to be more proactive with the type of men that I date. And I don't want another baby mama, baby daddy situation. I would like for the baby to grow up in a stable, loving home with a mother and a father in the same home. So in order to get that, I have to have a man that's also wanting the same thing as me. So if these guys are, I'm not really looking for a relationship, it's no holding on. You have to get rid of them. You have to get rid of them. And you might pass up on a lot of fun. You may pass up on a lot of fun, but it's not what you want in the long run. So you gotta let it go. My third law of the land is he must be respectful. He must be respectful. Like, I have dealt with some very disrespectful men. We won't even get into that. Just know that he must be respectful. And my number 5 law of the land is no immaturity and mind games. These men out here, they will play the craziest mind games to manipulate you into getting what they want. And women do it too. This is not a video to bash men. I completely understand that there are some great men out there, and I'm hoping to attract one of those great men. I believe they're out there. But in order to weed out the good from the bad, per se, I know that the ones that play mind games and are immature and don't communicate well, those are the ones that I have to stay away from. They are not good for me. Now, sis, if you love mind games and that's the thing that you like doing, now I understand that dating is a game. I understand that we're all playing a game here when it comes to dating. But the mind games and the manipulation and the tactics that some men use to keep you feeling like you're not enough for them, or some men just have really big ego and they really do feel like you're not enough, but whatever the case may be. If they're willing to play those games, baby, you just ain't the man for me. And that is my last law of the land. Okay. Like, that's it. So who do I want to be in a relationship? Like, who do I want to show up as? I want to show up as a confident woman. If I'm too much for you, go find less. If I am not attractive enough for you, go find somebody more attractive. If I am too ambitious for you, go find someone who is less ambitious. Like, I want to be able to be myself and be confident in who I am in a relationship. I want to be able to, this is something I really don't struggle with, honestly, but sometimes I catch myself biting my tongue a little bit, but it doesn't happen too often. But I want to be able to be vocal in how I feel without being afraid of being judged. Like, I want to be able to be vocal. My camera is about to overheat again, so I'm gonna try to wrap it up. I want to be a good partner that adds value, whether it's cooking, cleaning, providing good advice. Like, I just want to be a good partner. Okay, now that I have done so much, y'all, since I got cut off by my overheated camera, I have been to the movies and back and everything. So now that I'm back from the movies, I probably look a little bit more, a little less put together. My makeup's probably extra oily and shiny, and as you can see, the sun has set. So I'm trying to use the ring light here, but I will go ahead and finish up. So I remember saying that the way I would like to show up in relationships is I would like to be a good partner and know that I'm a good partner because I add value, whether that be something as small as cooking or cleaning, giving sound advice, being a word of wisdom, just being a good woman in general. I also want to show up as fun. I feel like I am naturally a fun person. I have my moments where I'd rather be taking a nap than being out in the streets. Sue me, I'm in my 30s. The fun doesn't last but so long once you get to a certain age, but I do want to be able to go out and have a good time with my partner. I want to be encouraging, I want to be affectionate, and most importantly, I do not want to compare myself to the women that he has seen in the past. Now, I will say that you have some men that really hone in on your insecurities, and if they know that other women are an insecurity of yours, they will play on that insecurity. So if you ever have a man that compares you to someone else or brags on what other women have done for him, honey, let that nigga go. Let it go. But anyways, now that I have, I believe I have told you guys why situationships don't work for me. And I hope that some of you guys, I'm not going to say I hope, but I know that some of you guys probably agree on those same reasons. I have told you my laws of the land. And I have also told you guys who I want to present myself and who I want to be and show up as in relationships. And that was really just the basis of this video today. So I do hope that you guys got something from this video. As always, I am here to educate and also entertain. But I'm here mostly to educate. Again, this is not my typical nursing content, but this is like real life stuff for me right now. This is something that I'm really going through. This is something that I want people, my followers, my friends to hold me accountable for. I just really want to get better in this specific area of my life. And I felt like I wanted to share that with the world. So not only can you guys hold me accountable, but also because I know that is relatable. Like situationships, like, have been the new relationship in today's society. So I know that you guys understand what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here, prepare for bed. I have to work in the morning. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow, and I'll try to get this video out ASAP. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. And again, my name is Lanice. If you haven't already liked the video, sent the video to someone who you felt could use it, or that could use this information, or subscribe to my channel, please do those things, you guys, because first of all, the subscriptions, the likes, the comments, all that stuff is what keeps me going. Especially as a very small content creator, I need to know that the word is getting out, that even the small amount of people that are following me now or subscribe to me now are getting something from the content, because I don't want to be wasting my time. I don't want to be talking to myself. If I wanted to be talking to myself, I would go get a nigga and talk to him and he not listen. No, I'm just playing. That was not right. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It's getting late and I got to work in the morning. So I will holler at you guys later. Again, my name is Lanice, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Peace.